Howdy folks, this is Tadpole Smitty, back at Tadpole Smitty's garage. I've been around for a couple of weeks. I got sick, but I'm back in the saddle again, literally. I haven't been riding in 2 weeks. I'm dying to get back on the trail. But before I do, I want to go over a few things that I've done with my trike and my Catrike Pocket that you might want to see, so maybe you can do these mods to your trike. This is one of my heaviest tops I've ever built. This top weighs about 4 pounds. Normally they're under 2 pounds. The reason being is the way I constructed it, and I'll go over that with you. Has side shields on. These are Velcroed on. This all comes off. These side curtains come off. I like to put those on for late afternoon rides. Keep the sun off the side of my face. I built this whole top different than all my other ones. So if you watched my shows on how to build these top, this is going to be unique. What's inside of here is core form. That's hard plastic. I'll get a piece and show it to you. And it makes this top rigid, how I built it. But the way this works, I'll go over how it's constructed here in a minute, but I want to put it in place real quick. The way this works is you put those kayak poles, the tent poles, in those two places at 24 inches. And it simply slides down inside of those fittings that I have right here. And then you Velcro it down with these straps right here and hold it down. Pretty nice little pannier bags there. Another thing I like about this, it has little panniard bags. They're miniature panniard bags that come out the side. And they just fold out like that. And I have extensions. And you can put stuff in your and they're short enough to where they won't get into the tire. So they're like miniature panniards. You can also strap these down here somewhere to hold the panniard in place. That's pretty nice. Little miniature panniard. Here's a water bag. Place for water. And then you have these that hold your jackets or something longer that you might want to put in here. Now you'll notice I have side bags over here. Little 9-inch side bags. Keep tubes in here. My first aid kit right there. Some more stuff can go in there. And over here, I've got my lock in there, another tube, and a compressor. And I got room for more stuff in there still. Now, the way this is attached is off this accessory bar that goes across here, across the trike. It's 24 inches wide. And the real reason that accessory bar is there is not so much for the bags, it's for my sun top. If you know anything about Smitty and Tadpole Smitty's garage, you'll know that I've built like 4 or 5 sun tops for trikes. I love them in New Mexico because of the UV rays are so hot, so high. The UV's at 7,500 feet altitude, up and down, you know, I can go even higher than that. The UV just bakes you, and that's not good. For cancer or your skin care, or if you have a sun top on, you can ride in 100-degree weather. You can ride in high UV because it keeps your core, your body cool. So I build sun tops for all my trikes. I don't use them all the time. I only use them when I need them. But you have to achieve the way I like to build mine. People do them different ways. You get a kayak cover off of Amazon for 45 bucks. And I like to put mine at 24 inches wide from here to here. To do that, there is a bar that I attached to the Catrike frame. It's a Rock Brothers bar that I got off Amazon for 15 bucks. And it's 15 inches wide from end to end, and it just clamps off to the frame. And this PVC Schedule 40 pipe that my top bar is made out of, this accessory bar, is bolted through this aluminum bar in 4 places. down into it, and that's what's holding this bar to the trike through this other accessory bar. I would have liked to have gotten this one 24 inches wide, but they didn't make them. And so I didn't want to modify the Catrike, so what I did is I did it in this fashion. There's 100,000 different ways you can engineer it, but what you want to come up with if you want to build one like me is you want 24 inches across here. So let me get my top and I'll show you how the top works. So how this is constructed is inside of the kayak cover. It's like a sock when you get it. It doesn't look like this when you receive it. It's not squared off on the back like this. I made this way, but it's just a sock. So what's inside of this, 2 pieces of fabric like a sock, is this core form plastic. It's just corrugated, real lightweight. It comes in a 4x8 sheet, and it's pretty rigid. I mean, you can bend it, but it holds its shape pretty well. It's very light, but I wanted to give the top some structure because my other tops kind of flop around. So this is more like it's hard. So what I did is I laid the kayak cover out on the piece of 4x8 sheet of core form and traced it right around here. And I stopped right at the 90-degree turn where the tent poles from the kayak cover go to 90 degrees right here. That core form stops right here. Here's the core form inside. And I slid it up in there. And then I inserted my tent poles with it. And it's very tight. And then what I do here is I lace the aluminum kayak cover. I take a soldering iron, one of those sharp looking ones, and I poke it through the top right behind the aluminum of the kayak cover, and I put wire ties and I lace it, the core form and the aluminum structure and the fabric to the core form. And you can see where it's laced all through here. And I think I laced it all the way to about right here. And then I sewed these side panels I ordered some parachute material, and they kind of matched the top off of Amazon. And I got some more core form, and what I did is I took the core form and I just put it up there and I traced out the shape of my top, and then I used that as a pattern to cut the fabric out. And then I spray adhesive the fabric down to the core form, and then I got my sewing machine out and I sewed on Velcro. And then what I did here is I laced Velcro into the top through the core form and around the aluminum. Tent poles are right out here at the edge. They come all the way up here like this and go around the aluminum tent poles. So this top and this Velcro and everything is glued down and wire tied laced to the top, and that's how my side curtains attach with Velcro. And I can take on off and on. None of my other tops, that you can't do that. This is the only top where the side curtains come off. And I think it looks better. It's a little cleaner. It's tighter. This looks nicer. So that's how I built those. I also put a 7/16 wooden dowel inside the center of the, sitting on top of the core form, and I laced the dowel through the core form just to the center. I didn't go all the way through both layers of fabric. I just went to the center, and I was able to put a little ridge down the center of the top to give it some, you know, rigidity to hold that core form, so that, you know, it's pretty stout, but it's not, you know, it's not going to hold its shape that well. So this wooden dowel that runs the length of the through here is holding the core form up into place, and it's laced off all the way down to here. That's where that dowel ends, is right there. So that kind of gives it a drip effect of the top. You can see the dowel right there, and it's all been laced off. So since the core form came back, I went ahead and laced the back off, which gave me a straight curtain down. So now, why does this top sit so much lower than the rest of my tops? The reason being, on the Catrike Pocket, the Catrikes are called what we call bent frames. If you look at the Catrike, look at how the frame bends down and the boom comes up. It's like a kind of that effect. It's kind of like a saddle, where my Catrike is straight. So the reason the cord in the front of it's such a low looking, kind of a hot rod look for the top, is because my boom's up and my trike is down. It doesn't have a lot of ground clearance. I think it only has about 8 inches, 10 inches of ground clearance underneath. So the top is down because I'm down, but the boom is up. So this cord is short, and it makes it look kind of like a hot rod because I'm inside of it. I don't have it tightened down, but anyway, folks, this was I'm getting better at building tops. This is probably my best top. I'm pretty proud of it. I can improve on this one as well. I put a textured finish to it. I like how these side curtains really came out real nice. They're velcroed on. The Catrike that I built the side panels on, I put a lot of hours into that, and they're always fighting me. Let's go look at those real quick. They're permanent. See, these are soft. These are permanently attached to my Catrike. And this top is flimsy because it's just tight. It doesn't have any core form in it. It's much lighter. It's about half the weight, but it's not near as stout as the one on the Catrike. So what I'm telling you folks is if you look at my tutorials on how I built these things, there's literally a million ways you can design and engineer these tops. You can do them however you want. I'm just showing you how I did this Catrike and how I use core form to achieve the rigidity that I was looking for. And the core form is also how I built my side curtains. Much easier to build these than the Catrike. Catrike was the first one I did. The other tops I built were for my mom's trike. My brother built it. I just refined it a little bit. And then, of course, my Sunseeker. So let's go look at the Sunseeker real quick, and I'll show you that top. But I like this one the best so far. So the top attaches out here in these brass nipples that are in the end. These are brass nipples that are actually, I put heat shrink around them so they look black, but it's actually a brass 1/4 inch nipple, 4 inches long. And this tent pole slides down into it until it bottoms out. And then you just Velcro with these straps right here around the bar down here to hold the top down. Because the top's 24 inches wide, my accessory bar is 24 inches wide, and that gave me room to add on some bags here. That's why these bags come out to this They kind of look like they're made for the top. Now what you do is you get inside your trike and this clips down to the nose right here on this ring that I got, and you simply slide into place. And now I'm in my trike with my hard top, my rag top. Keep the sun out of my face. These come off and on, so I could unvelcro this piece and just take it off. Well, as you can see, if the sun's coming in like it is right now, it's low on the horizon, it keeps the sun from hitting my face. Also, I have a bag in here that I put my poncho and stuff in. It goes right under the headrest and it's soft. My neck kind of goes in there. That's attached to the accessory bar as well. Snow's still on the ground. Let's go out here and look at the Sunseeker Fat Tad top that I built for the Warthog. And I'll show you the difference in this top. Quite a bit they're all different. All my tops have been different. Wow, look at that top. This is in the bat cave. Look at the difference in this top and in the other tops. Folks, you can build these however you want to build them. This, the side curtains are built just like the Catrike. They're fabric, there's no core form, and I've got a wooden dowel. They're all laced in. It's quite a bit of work to do. It must be 2 hours per side. All that's hand painted. All my artwork. And how it's attached, there's dowels in there to hold it, give it rigidity. That's a aluminum Air Force license plate that I put in the back. And look at the length of the cord up front. It's quite a bit longer. How it attaches is basically the same. Comes down into that D-ring right there, and that's how it's attached. That's how that top looks. Look at how wide the wings are. That's because this top is quite a bit taller. Anyway, folks, many ways you can build these tops. This is just one of many. I like the sides. I like how this was rigid. I like this top the best out of all 5 tops I've built. Anyway, I'll keep building and keep improving them. Enjoy. So until next time, folks, this is Tadpole Smitty. Like and subscribe. We'll see you on my next travels. Adios.